Hello and welcome to Access Lunchtime. This is Crystal filling in for Maria, who's might pop in and out. She's got a flight and she's kind of in and out right now. Also here are Colin Riddington, who co-hosts Access Europe with Alessandro Grimaldi and Adrian Bell. And today we have a very interesting presentation from a couple longtime Access developers on using Discord to share with other developers. In the last lunchtime meeting, Ben Sakarich made a comment about how nice it would be to be able to use something like Discord to share ideas. And then Jim Dettman did some searching for Access on Discord, didn't find noteworthy, so he set up a Discord channel for Access Talk. Jim was an Microsoft Access MVP from 2010 to 2019 and has been answering Access questions online in various forums for the past 31 years. And in my opinion, Jim is brilliant. Doug Yudovich is a 15-time Access MVP and an administrator at Utter Access, and many of you know him as Dougie. He develops applications and tools using Access front ends with SQL Server backends. And the main focus of his development is information management, data analysis, and reporting. And Doug has been using Discord for a while and adds his insights. Please welcome Jim Dettman and Doug Yudovich. Take it away. Share your screen, Jim. I'm going to stop.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Crystal. I never had such an intro before for any of my things. Thank you very much. It was very enthusiastic. And I've known Crystal for about 20 years, by the way, so thank you, Crystal.
We're here to talk about Access and something called a Discord server, which is a communications platform. So it's a little bit different presentation than what you'll typically find on Access Lunchtime. Hopefully everybody appreciates it and can learn a little bit, and maybe we'll use it. Crystal covered most of this already. I've been answering questions online for quite a number of years and hang out on Experts Exchange right now. Doug has been everywhere. His name pops up all the time. So Utter Access, the MVP conferences, and things like this. So reason we're here today, the power of communication. Fundamentally, anything you do in life comes down to good communications, whether it's in professional endeavors or personal ones. The ability to communicate is first and foremost. You don't have communications, you're standing by yourself and doing nothing. So it's very important. And one of the things we're here to talk about today is, what is Discord? This is a different way to communicate. It's different in that the focus is quick interactions. It originally came out of the gaming community, and what it was there for was players that were online playing multiplayer games to be able to talk to one another so they could coordinate and do things like that. A good way to think about it is it's a cross between having a Zoom meeting and forums. It's got features of both now. It's come quite a long ways in the past few years in adding features. Originally, it was just voice and chat, and now it's a little bit more than that. What is it made up of? There's channels, which are different types, and we'll talk about these in a few minutes. I'll show you what they look like. There are roles, which control what you see and do. And then you have your profile, which controls all your privacy, security, notifications about what you see. And of course, being Discord and coming out of the gaming community, they got this thing called boosting, which is basically adding features, which gives you the ability to have very unique avatars, sounds, and a whole bunch of embellishments that you could use. We're keeping it simple for right now. As Crystal said, this was started on a basically off-the-cuff comment from Ben saying, why not? There's not a lot of activity on this server right now, but many of you have been joining. We're not sure what it's going to look like in a couple of months. It's going to change and morph a little bit as we need it to. But we wanted to show it to you, and hopefully people will start using it just to hang out and chat back and forth. I don't think it will replace any of the forums you're currently used to using, because that's not really its focus. But hopefully everybody will find it useful and a good hour spent. And you can use it personally. To set up a server, really, it costs nothing. And it just probably takes half hour or 45 minutes to configure and set up the areas you want to talk. You could use it within your family if you wanted to. There's all sorts. In fact, Doug, he'll show you later, I'm sure, belongs to a multitude of different servers. So you'll get an idea of what that's like. With that, we'll switch over to the Discord server. Now, this is the desktop client that you're seeing on the screen right now. Discord does have a mobile client, so you can use it on your smartphone, and you can also use it through a web browser. So, a few different platforms that you can use. And what you have basically on the left-hand side is a list of servers. They only belong to 3. And the top one is what the new Access Talk server is. And then I belong to Experts Exchange and the twinBasic Discord server. The next column over, basically, it's showing Access Talk, and this is a list of channels. In other words, meeting areas that you can use. I've got a few more than you'll typically see because I own the server at the moment. We've got text channels up at the top, which are indicated by pound signs. And those are just a way of quickly chatting back and forth. There's no real organization. It's just one comment after another. You can reply to a person, but if it's a big server, it's going to flow very, very fast, and things are going to scroll on by. The other thing we have is a more focused text type channel, and these are called forum channels. They've got the little chat bubble. And in these, and we don't have a lot of activity here, but you'll see a post, and then you can go into that post and you can see the conversation regarding that one specific topic. This is a feature that Discord added just a couple years ago, and it's one of the reasons it's surging in popularity. It's because it now offers a way of organizing and searching for data, like a lot of forums do. And then the last thing we have is a voice channel over here, down on the lower left-hand side. And right now we only have one channel. This is where you could jump in, though, and start talking and basically have an off-the-cuff Zoom meeting if you wanted to. And there's some unique stuff in there, like if you wanted to watch a YouTube video together as a group and then talk about it and comment back and forth, you can do that. And there's some other nice things in there. You can strictly do voice. You can do voice and video. So it's pretty flexible. There's also a few other type of channels. We've got a special one here called polls. I just threw one out here this morning that we'll be using to ask different questions in the community. Popular one that Carl asks at the end of DevCon each year is, what versions of Access are you using? And those types of things. So we can ask that. And then the other one we have is presentations, and I don't know that we'll use this. We've got Access Lunchtime and a number of other things. So, got some nice background music here for anybody who wants to get a little loose here at the moment. So those are the basic channels. Up at the very top, there's an events calendar. This is where things like a general get-together might be announced, a presentation that somebody's doing, and you may or may not want to subscribe to all these different channels. If you go to the browse, you'll see all the channels listed, and off on the right-hand side, you can uncheck and check which ones you want to see. Right now, we don't have any roles, which is maybe you're a developer, or maybe you're looking to hire, or things like that, where you would want to see only a subset of the channels available, and those would be predefined for you to make it easy. But right now, you can go to Browse Channels, and you can uncheck and check whatever you want to see. And then we have an announcements channel. This is where we'll just put things that affect the community here. If the server is going to be offline for any reason, things like that. We have an introduce yourself too, where people have been posting about who they are, the types of things they do. So feel free to drop in here. Give us some, insight into what you're doing and how things are going. I stuck one in here just at the end of today, just so we could have a few more. But yeah, feel free to drop in there and just put a post. We did have some rules, kind of what you would expect. You see this panel when you come in. Basically, just be polite, that type of thing. Text channel, I'll go in the general channel because everybody's been there. And you can see, you get these goofy avatars. You can do different things. Test this posting. And you can upload files. You can upload your message as a file, do some other things. You can, of course, put in everybody's favorite gifs. You can put in the regular stickers, like these goofy characters. Some of them are sure kind of fun if you go through them. It's a way of just making it a little bit more personable and making it a little bit more fun with the day. Some people think they're pretty goofy. Others think they're kind of cool. It's whatever floats your boat, as they say. And of course, we have the typical emojis that you can put in. I've got a send button over here that I just clicked on to post that. And the way I turn that on is you can do a right click where you would post. A lot of things in here are right click. If you don't know what to do with something, right click. And in this case, I checked on the send message button. So that activated that button over on the far right. And of course, I got my spell check on because I am the world's worst speller by far. I think I take first place for that. Yeah, so those are some of the things you can do. And like I said, right clicking. So on the channel, if you right click, I've got a few more options here again, because I quote unquote am the owner of the server. But the big one here is one of the things that people find is they can get overwhelmed with notifications. Can drive you crazy. So you can mute a channel If you don't want to hear about it for a period of time, you can change the notifications. So you can say, I want to get messaged on a notification on all messages. Places where I'm only mentioned in something or nothing. That's all on a right click. And just like there's a right click for these channels, there's also a right click for the server. And you can change notifications server wide. We're talking just this Access Talk Discord server. You can hide channels that you have muted. You can automatically show all channels and a couple other things, privacy settings and whatnot. I'll let Doug talk about all those because I've been using Discord for about a year on and off. I know how to use it basically, but I'm not real in depth with it. And Doug is far more experienced with it than I am. And I'm sure he'll be able to do a lot of Q&A with you. So I think I'm going to let him take it over at this point. This is going to be unlike some of the lunchtimes we've had in the past where we haven't had a ton of Q&A. I think what we'll do is we'll kind of have a lot of Q&A with this one and let you ask questions and see what your thoughts are. Maybe we want some new channels. A couple of people have already said my shelf here, which, by the way, came from Jeff Conrad at Microsoft. I'll show you a bigger picture of it, I think. Where did I leave that? Yeah, here it is. So this is every Access version sitting on a shelf. I thought it was a really cool picture, but it's too small for the icon to be identifiable, I think. But we might change that. So any thoughts you have, anything you would like to see to make this more usable, I'll be happy to hear it. Just put a comment in the general channel and we'll toss it around and see where we go. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing. I think I covered everything with the simple stuff. Oh, one thing I did want to mention on the voice channel down here at the bottom. One of the things you have to be careful with is that you can jump into the voice channel and forget about it, and you've got a hot mic. So to try and stay away from any hot mic moments, if you're inactive for 15 minutes, it's going to force you into this inactive AFK. AFK is away from keyboard voice channel, and it'll leave you sitting there. So you won't actively be talking on the active voice channel, and it won't be picking up background noises and things like that. And you'll sit there for a while. So that's what that's about. We can add more voice channels. You also can message people directly if you want to. So you can get a list of friends and you can send them direct messages. I don't have any in here right now, but you can do direct private messaging as well. You don't have to put things in a general chat. If we popped over to twinBasic just for a second, you would see they are a lot more lively. They've got tons of channels, and we've got a general library of show and tell and things like that. And twinBasic is being talked about a lot lately in the Access community. But they use this for all their testing, all their debugging, all their examples that people are coming up with, show and tell, wide, range of things that people are building with twinBasic. So if you're interested in that, just join the twinBasic server and you can poke around there as well once you have Discord loaded. Let me get out of this voice channel. See how easy it is to leave that behind? Okay, with that, I'll give it over to Doug. He can answer your questions. How do we want to do this? Do we have questions in the chat?
There are quite a few, Jim. I was just going to actually say that.
I just want to add a couple more things real quick to fine-tune what Jim express well. Then we can do Q&A. For the browse channel, I left this message on intentionally so you guys can see it in case you missed it on your side. Well, you can hide the channels from your channel pane here. I can remove it. If there is a new message there, it will still pop up kind of like this, bolded with a little dot. So you're not losing the channel. You're just saying, I don't want to see it if there's no activity. It can be easy for people who like less clutter than I can tolerate. Let's put it this way. So just keep it in mind, you're not eliminating the channels from your accessibility. You're just hiding it unless it's active. The muting works the same. It will not ping you. It will not show you. It will actually, if you mute a channel, it goes like really dark gray. I don't know if you can see it better on the screen here versus a little brighter. And you just won't see any notification about it. It's also very good. Maybe less on our server, but I'm on server where sometimes the discussion is really heated and between my phone and my PC app, they start pinging like crazy. So muting them for like an hour because I'm busy at work or for the 4 hours, whatever time I need to be quiet time, it's very useful and then you can always go back to it. You have 2 settings that you can manage separately and they are intertwined. One is your own profile. You will see your name underneath here and whatever icon you chose for yourself. And this is your user setting. This is where you set up your account with Discord. This is where you manage it. For security purposes, either enable authentication app or not, that's up to you. Truly, depending how much you care about Discord, I'll be honest with you, Discord, because it started from the gaming environment, unfortunately, there are some bad actors out there that a couple of things. A, they will try to spam you and trick you into things. B, your usual smart that you do with online stuff. B, and it's probably less applicable to us in this setting, they will try to hijack accounts. So consider how much you care about it, how much you want it, enable it, don't enable it. This is truly your call. I'm not saying do it. I may recommend doing it, but I won't say do it. This is a second profile for me that is dedicated for the tech stuff. My primary one, the one I started with a few years ago, that's why this one just started not too long ago when we created the server, has all of those triggered because I have too many things in it that I really don't want anybody to get a hold of because I like it. This is where you can manage user profiles and server profiles. And the server profiles, and I'm like right now on the browser settings just because I want to show you both. Jim addresses it, so it's fine. They pretty much look the same. Whichever server you belong to, you can choose here, and then you can manage your settings for that specific server. So you can change your server nickname. If my default is Arlie Dougie, this is my Discord handle. But for this server, I shortened it to my actual name. So it's just Dougie. Discord didn't let me do a 4-character name. You can add your pronouns if you choose to, and you can manage the server from here. And we're going to see it a little bit more in detail when you go to the server settings. Your privacy and settings, go through that and pay attention to what's there. You may choose to change the default settings. Do you want to filter the direct messaging from people or not? Discord is pretty open. Unlike a forum where you have to be a member of the forum to message somebody, people don't have to be a member of this server to message you. And Discord is a very large community, let's call it. There are a lot of Discord users. So consider to get out of this mindset of forums because it's different. You can allow or disallow direct messages to you. That's totally your call. So go through the setting. I really recommend just spend a couple of minutes just to go and look at that and see if you want to opt into data, opt out of data, and stuff like that. Don't know. I have never used it personally, but again, if you have family that you care about and they're on the same PC, that's definitely a place to visit. Authorized app. I saw one of you, I think Eric that joined, that also have an Xbox and say you need to link the accounts and it's linked to that. This is where you see the authorized app. So if you're connecting yourself to be it Xbox, be it PS5, be it whatever other external app, here you're going to see how you connected it. You're the only one who sees that, by the way. This is you. devices. This is the current session I'm in right now, and I have it on multiple other things, including my phone. And this is where you connect yourself, whatever platform they allow to. Yeah, by the way. Jim mentioned boosting. This is where you do it. It's server boost or nitros. You get things. You get extra things. They'll show you what it is. Optional. And you can manage your appearance within some limits. You will notice that some of the things are locked behind Nitro, like in-app icons and stuff like that, because Discord needs to make money somehow, and this is one of the ways they're making money. And also, this is where you control your audio and video settings, your chats, your notifications. This is your general notifications. Go through it. I can go on something specific. If somebody has a question, let me know, please, and I will. For the sake of time. Oh, good. And you escape out of it. You also have on the banner, as Jim said, right-click, but you can also drop it. Drop down the little chevron, and you can go to the server settings, and this is specific to the server. You may see a couple of things here that you won't because Jim made me a mod on the server. So obviously you cannot change everything, but you can see what it tells you, and you can manage your profiles here, and you can see members if you want to know who is with us.
There's been a few questions in the chat. I've tried to answer a couple, but
let me open it.
Probably be good for you to answer them as well.
Yeah, let me open the chat, and one more comment, and then I'll go to the queue, to the questions. You can block a user. So we haven't mentioned it. I think it's on a later slide. I'm going to mention it again because it's worth repeating a couple of times. There's going to be very light moderation on the channels. You guys are adult. You self-manage. We will step in if something flares up to where we say unacceptable. But short of that, behave like adult, please. That being said, and obviously Jim and I are in very good standing, but if I say, you know what, I'm done arguing with you, I don't want you, I'm just going to block Jim. I'll unblock you, Jim, no worries. So what happened is, that's what it shows, just one block message. It will still be there as a placeholder, and you can really show, if you're interested, you can see it, but it will block that user's posts from you. Unblock. I need Jim. So you can actually block users if you so desire. But you will also miss on a conversation if you're blocking users. So again, please be an adult and think about it. That's probably the most important thing I want to show you, so you can do that. And let's see. Okay, questions. Do you have a question? Let's see. Invite. Crystal took care of it. Can you suppress other people distract animation? Neil, unfortunately, I don't think so far. I'm keep on looking though, because I really want to do that. I'm in one server where we can have a whole conversation with gifs, and as entertaining as it is sometimes, I don't want to see that in my face when I open the application every time. I will post in general as soon as I find it, and I'll add here so people will know to be aware of it. But I keep on looking to see. I expect to have a way of doing it, because it's related to accessibility on top of everything else, but I'm not sure that Discord is there yet. Can we send? Yes, you can. You can send a DM to a specific member, even if they are not your friend. So I can send a message to Jim, either by right-clicking the message, or clicking on his profile. It will open this, and I type here. You can also, if you go to the Discord icon here, this is where you can see your chats and your messages. And this is where you can add chats. You can DM a person that is not on your friends list as long as they have the setting to accept DMs from people who are not their friends. What you cannot do, you cannot create a group chat, a group messaging. If I want to have a group chat with outside of the channels, I wanted to have a chat with Jim and Crystal and Colin because I want the four of us to talk about Maria's birthday plans. We all have to be each other's friends on Discord in order to create a group chat. So bear that in mind. But yes, you can definitely DM a person. Key question, Miss Dad, how does Discord make its money? Well, a couple of things. There are a few ways it makes its money. A, it's by the nitro and the boosting. That's one. B, I don't see it here. When I'll switch to my other profile in a bit, just to show you what it looks like on a busy environment, there's also a shop option hanging out there someplace. Oh, it's right here. It's in the intro. So they actually try to sell you things, kind of thing. You can buy cosmetics. So if you're within the gaming environment, you can buy cosmetics, kind of, look what I can have. And they have some gaming related thing. So again, if you're a gamer, like, oh, I'm playing this game, this is what I want because that's my server. If you get a friend's request by somebody, this is thank you whomever did it. I haven't looked through this yet. You'll get notification here with red. Every time you have something directly to you, there's a red notification. So message in the channels would be red notification. Let's see who it is. Oh, Adrian, of course. You can either ignore, don't worry, Adrian, or you can accept. It's up to you. You can just ignore the request. If it's someone you don't know who it is, you can just ignore them. And no web, I'm afraid, but hi. Hi, Adrian. So yes, so that's how they're making money. Another thing they started adding, and I think it will be more related to people who are in gaming servers, less in this kind of a community server, which is a small one. They're going to introduce ads that are related to the game you're playing. I have not seen it in action yet. I just read about it. It's coming. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't think it will impact us here because it really is related to the game you're playing. They're going to try to promote either the microtransaction or, hey, there's a new expansion kind of thing. That's one of the ways that they make money out of it. While we are talking about Discord and making money, which is not to do with the money, they have changed the user acceptance stuff. They're going to force you to arbitration. I will find the article and I'll post it in general. You can opt out though, and again, do what you will with that, but just be aware of it.
Hey, Doug, one other point too on them making money is that you can boost the server as well, which if this takes off, I will do just so there's more features available to people. But that's another way they make money.
Right. So you can upgrade it. You pay for the quote-unquote pro version. Can you experience with MS Team? Can you contrast? That cannot necessarily contrast too much because this started as gaming specifically. Teams started as business. On a higher level, they're probably similar. You have the channels equals. I actually would say you have the servers that equals the teams. You have the channels that within that team you may have your different topics. For the MVP group, I can talk to that. This is where I'm there mostly with teams unless I'm at work. Think about the MVP tenant, and then we have all of the different channels under that. So conceptually it's the same, but it's different. Yes, it is for younger crowds, though looking around the room, it's not only younger crowds. And speaking for myself, I would think of Discord as more as casual chats and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's more casual, more interactive, quicker.
Yeah. And Teams.
Teams doesn't have a voice channel like that. Quick, get on and start talking with one another.
Oh, Maria is listening. Great. Hi, Maria. Who owns Discord? Discord owns Discord. There's actually, I don't know the person's name, but the Discord is on Discord, and I don't think Microsoft purchased them. So I won't be surprised if they did. For those of you that are also in the gaming universe, you nowadays have within Xbox, you actually have Discord built in, and you can chat in Discord from inside your Xbox, which maybe underappreciated in this group, but is really cool feature because more and more games are cross-platforms, which means Xbox players play with PC players, play with the PS5 players. They can all chat through Discord. They don't have to worry about like the Xbox chat option. What is boosting, Neil? It's right here. So let me think where I find it. Server boost.
Basically adding features, right?
Yeah, you're adding features. So you tell Discord, I'm going to pay you. I think it's to give you the money, the amount here someplace. I thought they did at some point. I saw it in the screen. I think it's like $5 a month, like $4.99 or something like that. And depending on the level that you boost the server, then this is the more things you get with it. So you get perks. You get more emoji slots. So you can actually put customized emojis for your server if you have that option. Soundboard, again, a lot of things are less applicable to us. Just heads up. Think about the target audience here. And then they give you like a little summary here of what you can do. You can actually upload larger files and so forth. So boosting is just paying Discord to get additional features. Disable animation. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you very much. I'm going to post it. Oh,
I looked up who owns Discord, and it's a company in San Francisco, if you're questioning what country it's in.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely not surprised by that.
We're not allowed to use Telegram at work because it's Russian-owned.
Oh, good point. Well,
It's a great point with all the discussion around TikTok.
Yeah. Okay, David, thank you for answering. Addy, thank you for posting it.
Jim mentioned earlier about a poll, and it showed on his screen. When I look at that, it shows me nothing.
Oh, he probably didn't publish it. I'm a moderator. It doesn't show me anything.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's nothing personal, Addy.
I clicked on it earlier and I got some sort of message that I didn't have permission.
Yeah. So I think it's a setting of the channel, and we can look at it later as we move forward with it.
Yeah, Jim messed up. That's all it is.
The server is the work in progress, people. So
yeah, no, good call.
Give you an opportunity to make suggestions as you use it, and said it would be cool if we can do X, or it also can be it would be cool if we cannot do X, depending what the X is, which is a variable. So please do that. Ask us. We kind of rush to create it, so we have something, and we can start building it. We are not done working on it. There's more work. We know that, but better have something up and running than wait for the perfect moment where all the stars align. So do step in with suggestions. Either please do or please don't.
Aggie?
Yes, Addy.
I've done some feedback. Is there somewhere that we should do that specifically, or is general perfectly adequate for that?
My suggestion, and Jim, I didn't run by you because I just thought about it as you were talking earlier. Go to general, because this is the general, right? This is like, this is the water cooler. This is where you can chat about how is the weather over there, kind of thing. Go to general, and if you really want us to pay attention, I think mods, do we have it set?
Oh, what? Say something like at moderator or something.
Yeah, it should be at mods, at moderator. Let's see. Yeah, moderator only. It will ping us. So I think it's just one, not two. There is a server I'm on, which is 2.
I had a chat with Jim earlier. Jim responded to something that, well, Ben raised the idea originally. It was talking about the icon that Jim.
No, so let me find out. But ping us, or even by name, like the Jim, either Jim or myself, or any of the moderators. You can do by name. If you look at members, and we're not that big of a server right now, so you can increase it to only 28 total. But you can look at the roles. You can see the mods. There are only 2 roles right now. You're either a member or you're a mod. There's nothing complicated in our settings. So you can either ping us directly. So it's
can you show that on the screen so that we can? Because it'd be good to
sharing the screen.
Mods. Well, you've got members there on your screen, haven't you?
You see the mods indicator?
No. What am I mean? Is this me or you? No, this is you. You're showing general at the moment, aren't you?
No, I'm showing members at the moment, I believe.
Why is
no, your screen's on general. Right?
It's okay. Thanks, Andy. You were right. I was on the app and I'm sharing the browser. On members,
Right.
hey, life is complicated.
By the way, Daggy, it's Aid for Adrian.
Thank you.
So I didn't.
Adrian. Aid. Okay.
Dougie,
Thank you for correcting me.
I've just tried, I've forgotten David Self's method of turning off the animated GIFs, and it didn't work for me, I'm afraid. So, which is a real disappointment. I've even closed and restarted Discord, and it didn't work still. So maybe I've done something wrong, but if anyone else could try it, I'd be grateful.
Okay, let me find the instructions. I'll try it on mine. Discord.
Settings at the bottom left, accessibility.
Hold on, it's opening. We are opening, right? There you go.
When you've done that, could you go back to what you were doing before? Because I didn't see how you would.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We were halfway through doing that, really.
I have too many Discord windows open because of presentation. I usually have just the one. Accessibility, I know, so it's accessibility.
Scroll down.
Always animate. This is just for stickers.
Yeah. Well, it's the one above. It's above stickers. I've turned off all those 3 toggles, and they're still playing.
Oh, wow.
I think you'd want the stickers too and say never animate.
Oh, I just animate on interaction. You can just hover over them.
Yeah, or that option. But stickers and emoji are 2 different things.
Right. So then if I go to general, yeah, it's working for me. Oh, or not.
You're hovering over it, Daggy.
You're hovering over it.
If you move away, it'll stop.
Right. There you go.
You still see them when you turn off the stickers one. You still see them, but they don't animate, so it's slightly better.
Yeah.
Oh, that mod's excellent. Thank you.
You see them there. Addy, don't quote me on this. This doesn't seem to work, so I'm trying to see. Let me find out what the shortcode was. Or create one if you need to. So stickers, you can do it. Hover on them. We'll activate if you care to see what it is. Gifs. Okay, let's say hello. GIF. Oh, here you go. Thumbs up, Mr. Bean. One of my favorites. Not animating until I hover over it. So, and then it stops when you unhover. So I think that's what we have. It should work.
So now, there's you, Jim, Crystal, I believe. Anyone else?
Maria.
4 mods.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The reason just for those was just because these are the people that kind of raised their hand a little bit. And I mean a little bit.
No.
I'm going to throw this together.
I was brutally drafted for my comfortable home.
Yeah, I would say you were drafted. Yeah. So I don't know where this is going to go. George asked the question, do you have a marketing plan to reach the outside or current community? And the short answer is no. Literally, we put the server together in a matter of like 3 days, just off of Ben's suggestion, with the thought that because the younger crowd is tuned into Discord, that it might draw some people in. We haven't really thought beyond that. I had expected to let the server kind of trundle along for 2 to 3 months to get it configured right, and so everything was functional and we knew what was what. And we kind of went all in on this and said, okay, let's do a presentation and see what kind of reaction we get from people. Again, the emphasis is quick interaction, the ability just to hang out in a place, chat with voice, text, whatever, really doesn't quite fit into the forum mold. But this is what a lot of the younger crowd are using. And as many of you know, we've been having discussions about where is Access going and how do we get the younger crowd involved? So those were the things that fed into this.
Well, the younger ones are the 40-year-olds, right?
I'd like to shoot a little younger than that, but sure, I'll put the 40-year-olds in that class. Yeah.
Couple more comments for people because I've seen Neil doing it, which is great.
Tom's got his hand up. Dougie.
1 minute, Colin.
Tom has had his hand up for some time. Tom Van
Oh, yeah,
Sippel.
Tom, go for it.
Okay. Do I understand correctly that originally this kind of server was also used by gamers who wanted to show other people how they are gaming? That I
Yes.
can watch you gaming?
Yes, correct. You can stream into Discord.
Yeah. So, for example, could I have a sub-channel or whatever you might call this, where I would invite a few people to watch me program?
Yes, you can actually, you don't even need a sub-channel, Tom, which would create you one if you really want to have it. We can talk about what you want to have in it. But if you go to voice channels, and you can actually, from it here, share your screen. So you and I can talk and you can share your screen.
Mm-hmm. I'm
And-
thinking of something that's kind of regularly scheduled, that I have, let's say, 3 subscribers, that every Tuesday morning they are joining me for a couple of hours of watching me program. Is that in the picture or is that
There's a
outside?
presentations channel.
So there's the event and presentation channel. So yes, it is in the picture, Tom. You know, I don't feel that you're talking out of bounds here as far as the request. And I think it's a good
Okay.
suggestion.
Like I was concerned about taking up too much bandwidth.
No, I think they manage the bandwidth pretty well with us because they limit the quality of the stream kind of thing. If you remember in the boosting, they show you the quality of the streaming,
Right.
stream quality. They cap it at 720 unboosted, which is, by the way, it's solid.
Okay.
So how about for now, see what you can use with what we have.
Actually, while you're doing that, Tom, I'm curious because I've often thought of starting a Twitch channel and having people watch me program. I see somebody do it and I thought, man, that person is really brave. But that aside, my problem is confidentiality, not showing something that shouldn't be exposed. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Only half-baked ones. But it has come up in conversation with a few other Access MPPs, and it's just something that I'm kind of interested in. There would probably have to be an NDA signed or so before I would allow someone into this presentation. That's why I was asking some of the questions.
For your work on the Northwind database, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, unfortunately,
That would have been a
time
perfect
travel
project.
not available. Yeah, that's true. That would have been fun.
Real quick answer to some of the question I've seen. Ben, no, there's no code format as such, but you can use like this quote and it will show it a little bit like this kind of thing, which is a quote. So it's the little ticks below the tildes. And I saw another question, do you need to make a Discord account? Yes, you do need to have a Discord account. This is not because what we set up, it's because the way Discord work, you need to have an account to join a server. So yes, the answer is yes. And for the code, it's not exactly code tags as such, but you can format like this. If you do a single tick, like on the bottom, if you look at the text box here, single tick and test, single tick, it will change the format like this. If you have multiple line, so it's 3 instead of 1. This is a test line. Shift, enter, will do a line entry. Just enter will send a message, heads up. And this is another line. And then 3 to close, it will allow multi-line quote formatting kind of thing.
I pasted in some code and then I highlighted it and picked an option from the highlight.
Right. And you probably pick up the option I'm using with the ticks. It's just, that's kind of what I use.
I like turning on the send message button so I could keep typing away until I click the
You
button.
know, you are so right, and I really should do that.
It's right click in the text area. Yeah. Down in the free box.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
No, because I'm on the browser. I'll do it on my.
Oh, you're doing it in the browser? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the
I did
browser.
it in the browser.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I'm not in the browser enough to qualify. This is really just for the presentation because I want to show the multiple options for Discord, the browser, the app, and I won't obviously the mobile, but I'm not going to show my phone because I don't know how to share my phone here.
Can I just ask a question related to the YouTube recording of this? Because people have to be invited, or at least have to have the link to join this group, do you want the link to be visible in the YouTube recording?
Yes.
It's a public invite for the server.
Yeah, okay.
Doug, do you want to share those last couple of slides or you want me to do it?
I'll let you do that real quick if you don't mind.
Okay.
Give my voice a rest.
Yeah, so just to finish up, again, to keep in mind, there's limited moderation and there is no moderation within the voice channels unless we happen to be in as part of the voice channel. So just keep that in mind. One of the complaints about Discord is things are really not permanent in a sense. Like if you're looking at the text channels, it just keeps flowing on and on and on, and it's difficult to go back. Posts right now are set to drop off there after 7 days. Again, we're still feeling out the server and how it needs to work, so there may be changes. We don't have the roles for developer, business owner, and things like that. Again, open to change, and we may be changing the channels. So with that, I hope you found it interesting. There's a slide here. The server URL is there that you can use to join it. You can download the desktop client from discord.com if you want to install it, or you can work through the browser. And the last link here is the beginner's guide, which touches on, in some good detail, step by step, pretty much everything we covered here today. So that's a really good link for you to have. And last thing is thank you for coming. I know this is a little offbeat, a little different for the lunchtime chapter, but we thought it might be of interest to a lot of you, so we thought we'd give it a swing. And with that, I'm all set. Do you want to wrap up then, Crystal? We're all done.
Thank you. Yes. That was just really a wonderful presentation. I really enjoyed that. Doug and Jim, you did a really great job. Coming up next for Access Lunchtime in May, we have using web APIs in Access, which is the last Tuesday, May 28th, and George Young will come and give us that information. And then we take a couple months break for summer. And in August, Maria is going to enlighten us about using the Microsoft Graph API, which has nothing to do with charting, from VBA and Access. And just what is it? What can we find with it? Why be interested in it?
Crystal mentioned something about Maria Barnes doing something with Microsoft Graphs API. Did I hear you right, Crystal?
Yep. Sorry.
Yes, in August.
It's kind of interesting. I think you keyed on this earlier. Daniel Pinal had just actually put 2 articles about using that API to send emails. I just was wondering, did the newsflash just hit and all the developers are aware of this, or was the timing just that good?
Daniel, he writes great articles. I'm really keen to hear what Maria has to say. She's always really good at getting all the basics down and just being very thorough and covering everything. And then I'm sure Daniel's articles are going to be great too. Maybe you want to make sure to come and put those links in there, John. It should be a really good session. And I'm sure George's will be interesting too. He's a really good speaker, the guy in May.
I'll see everybody in August.
Putting you on. Colin and probably George have some information about meetings that are coming up with Access. So Colin, do you want to go first, and then maybe George?
I apologize. I have to step away. I have another meeting coming up. I have to join. Thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you,
See you
Doug.
guys later.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
Bye,
Welcome.
Doug.
Talk to you guys later, especially my group.
Cheers. Thank you. Right, all I wanted to do is quickly promote tomorrow night's Access Europe meeting. It's exactly the same start time as this meeting, and we have a new presenter called Adolphe Dupré, who is going to be using VBA to create classes based on individual tables. And you can find the details of that on the Access User Group website. So same time tomorrow. Please come. And then George, if he's there, has got a meeting on Thursday.
I'm here, yes. Tom and Kim, Tom Vestifout and Kim Young are going to present. They're going to be talking about how to build a solid Access application, all of the things that they do to make sure that it works correctly, flawlessly as possible, and has all of the features that make it work the way you intend it to work. Tom, would you like to add anything?
The focus is also on if something bad happens, what is your next move? Some things we would call playing offense. Some things we would call playing defense. Offense meaning we have an error on the screen. Can we understand what's going on? This is an ACCDE. How much can we learn from what is going on here? And defense being, can we prepare the application so that if something happens in the future, we are better prepared than otherwise to deal with whatever comes up and be able to fix things quickly. So yes, that's Thursday night, 6:30 Pacific.
Okay, and I think Ben Sasrich is on the call. Would you like to talk about what your next meeting is going to be?
Sure, put me on the spot, George.
Well, I just saw your name in the attendees, and I thought, take a chance. Can you give us just a quick preview of what you plan to talk
I'm going to talk about debugging, troubleshooting, just techniques that I've used over the course of development over the years. I've just gotten better and better at tracking down where bugs are. I did a session where I had a group of you guys try to help me debug something, and we went through a lot of steps, and it turned out it was a really stupid thing. But I think George liked the way that we tracked down through it, and he asked me to speak to it. So I'll be doing that in June.
Okay, so great. So we kind of have a 1-2 punch coming up in Access Pacific. Well, yes.
This has really been enlightening. And what I'd like to do is open the floor just for anybody that wants to say anything. And also, I guess Doug left, but Jim, I think you did a fantastic job just overviewing all the basic stuff for us. It was great having Doug add some stuff on. And I wondered if you wanted to share anything else now that you've been listening to what everybody is saying.
Thanks for that. Considering we really just kind of threw this together, nothing I can think of other than please try it out. It may not be for everyone. But, like I said at the beginning, you can use this even amongst your family members. You can set up a Discord server yourself. It doesn't cost anything. Yeah, you do need a Discord account, but, I know there's Zoom and other things out there, but maybe you'll like this better than other things that are out there. So,
well, it's definitely something to explore. I do have a question about that presentations channel that you set up. Is that just a place for people to just stop in and, like, maybe Ben says, hey, I got this thing going on with Access. Can I just show it to you? Can we bounce around a couple ideas? Is the presentations channel where they would go to, like, do that sharing thing if they didn't set up their own little room?
yeah. So the presentation channel is more like the Zoom meeting. You could go into a voice channel in screen share. So that's the other way you could do it. You could set up your own voice channel room and just, between two of you, talk back and forth and, screen share and work something out.
Okay, so basically voice channel means voice and video. It's just calling it voice, but it's not only voice.
Right. There's also a chat panel within the voice channels, which is a little confusing, but it's there. And I mentioned that you can do like a group event where you would all watch a YouTube video, like one of the Access Lunchtime videos, and then comment on it while you're watching the video together.
Well, we'll just have to see how it works. And also, is there a particular channel for just asking questions about Discord? You and Doug covered a lot of stuff, and now after we watch the video again, we might have questions about what you talked about. Where should we ask those?
Let me set up a new channel just for Discord questions since everybody's new to it. And I'll do that here as soon as we drop off. I'll set up a new one.
Jim,
and that way it'll stay a little more focused than just the general.
If you've got a link already to, how to use Discord, wouldn't that be the first place for people to go to rather than ask questions?
I did post in the chat one link to the beginner's guide on Discord, which is you don't have to be on the server. You don't have to have Discord installed. You can go through everything there. But I'll check out the invite link. We've published a couple different ones. And I think when you send a link, you can send a link individually, personally to somebody. And then you can define ones at the server level. I think we got a couple floating around. And the first one might have been a personal one, which times out after 7 days.
Okay, and maybe we can just put Maria on the hook. She's on the plane, so she can't say no. To maybe edit the meeting page after you get another public link that works. So at least everybody can know where to go to get another link. We'll just ask her to do that because I'm pretty sure she can edit that meeting page.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And we'll put it there. There is a link there currently. And I thought that was the server one that was good forever. So
I'm hoping they can change the font on that Discord stuff. Man, it was about 1/16 of an inch.
Well, can't you just control mouse wheel up and down like a normal web page, changing the size of things?
Probably. I didn't try.
I'm not sure John's reaction to Crystal posting the beginner's link was intended to be a laughing one. Did you hit the wrong one, John?
No, it's I was actually trying to respond to Neil's thing about the dog getting his dinner, but Crystal snuck in on me there. So
exactly, they scroll up, don't they? They scroll up and then you hit the wrong one.
Exactly.
Well, if there's nothing else, I hope everybody has a great day. Middle of the workday here, so I gotta move on. Still working.
What's a work day?
Yeah. Oh, riding your bike around the nice lake, breathing in the
Soon as we get done here, yeah.
Yeah, I've got about a year and a half, so I'm counting the days.
And for any of you that want to stay on, we'll let Jim gracefully bow out, and anybody else can leave that wants to. And anybody else that wants to stay on, like maybe Rachel, you can tell us more about those blossoming cherries. We'd love to hear from you.
If you have questions, I'm happy to stay, but if we're just going to be talking for a bit, I got some things hanging.
I think we're hanging out for a bit, Jim, and anyone can put questions in the general area of Discord now that we all know about it and we're all connected.
Yeah, as long as I can get there. So
thank you, Colin. I'm so glad you were here. Just really wonderful. Thank you.
John.
Okay, well, you all have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, Jim.
Okay, bye.
Crystal, are you there?
That's a risk. Anyway,
Otherwise,
sorry,
see
I
you next month.
interrupted John.
Sorry, go on.